These polls are in your book here. I don't remember exactly where. We can find that later, or you can get the data right here off my slide. Mobile Press Register did a poll back in 1995. Found out that 61% of the population believes the earth was made by God in the last 10,000 years. Another 30% believe God did it, but he used evolution. So that's 91% believe God made the world, either recently or over billions of years, but the fact is God did it. Only 4% were atheistic. Another 6% said, we don't know. Don't know or don't care, or didn't answer. So if you've got 91% of the population saying, we believe God made the world, and the evolutionists are out there saying, we can't teach creation in schools because we have to teach what the majority of scientists believe. Say, wait a minute. Not what the majority of people believe. And it's not really fair to say all scientists believe in evolution. Washington Times, 1998, August 31st, had a statement saying 55% of the U.S. natural scientists who study in the natural sciences, believe in Darwinian evolution. Is that everybody? No, 55%. Slightly more than half believe in Darwinian evolution of the scientists. Those are the ones that have not been to my seminar yet. We're working on them, okay? So if somebody says, all scientists believe in evolution, I say, wait a minute, no, they don't. Secondly, even if they did, that still wouldn't make it right. You don't decide truth by majority opinion. The majority of scientists for years taught that the planets go around the Earth. That is called the geocentric theory. Is that true? No. Did the majority believe it? Yeah. If a bunch of people believe something, that doesn't make it true. They used to teach a big rock falls faster than a little rock. Galileo changed all that. But for 2,000 years, it had been taught big rocks fall faster than little rocks. Now, here's what I teach the kids to do. If you learn to ask the right questions, you can get people thinking. Aristotle said, a big rock falls faster than a little rock. Everybody believed it. Nobody thought to check it. They just believed it. After all, Aristotle's a smart man. He must be right. Galileo came along with a simple question. He said, if I had a 10-pound rock and a 5-pound rock and I dropped them, which one falls faster? Everybody said, oh, the 10-pound rock. He said, okay, let me ask you a question. If I take my 10-pound rock and I break it in half, but I tie the two pieces together with a string, and I drop it, will it fall like a 5-pound rock or a 10-pound rock? A brilliant question, isn't it? Without doing any experiments, just going through the thought process, he said, what if I broke it into 10 pieces, each weighing 1 pound? But I tie the pieces together with a string and drop it. How will it fall? Wow, that's a good question. He said, fellas, I think we've been teaching something for 2,000 years that's not true. And we need to learn to do like Galileo did, to get people to question what you believe. I ask evolutionists in debates all the time, would you please answer this question for me very simply? I don't want you to give me a bunch of big fancy words. I just want you to explain it so everybody here can understand it. Do you believe man evolved from a rock? Just give me a yes or no. I was in a debate one time, and this atheist, I asked that question. Boy, he beat around the bush for 15 minutes. After he got all done, going through all this big 15-minute spiel, I said, okay, thank you for the lecture. Now, would you please answer my question? Do you believe man came from a rock? He went off on another big spiel. I said, okay, thank you for all those big words. You dazzled everybody now with your vocabulary. Now, please answer the question. I just want a yes or no. Do you believe we came from a rock? Finally, he said, yes, I do. The crowd went wild. Well, that's stupid. But see, they don't want it to be quite so simple. One of the most effective things you can do, I think, that works so good for me when I'm on airplanes or talking to anybody about creation, evolution, if I'm on an airplane, I take a napkin and I draw these two lines right here. And I put 4 points on each line. Creation, flood, Jesus, today. Big Bang, earth forming, life starting, today. somehow when they talk about it, and they say, well, billions of years ago this happened, if you're only talking about it, it gets lost in the brain. But when you can see it in front of you on a line, all of a sudden it's like, wow, that is kind of dumb, isn't it? This forces them to visualize what they've been teaching. Just simply draw on a line and say, now, do you believe the earth formed 4.6 billion years ago? Yes. And do you believe life evolved out of the rocks? It's finally now they got to think about it. Yeah, I guess I do, don't I? And you believe this first life form found somebody to marry? Who was that? And then slowly evolved into everything today? I mean, is this what you believe right here? And that is what they believe, but they don't like it visualized. And just a simple timeline, and these are also in the seminar notebook for you to use here. Okay, we just hurry. We got a few more minutes. In 1799, George Washington was bled to death by his doctors because the doctors believed that if you're sick, your blood is bad. Take out your blood, you get better. Is that how you get better? No. That was taught until just before the Civil War. They were still bleeding people to help them get better. That was called the doctrine of humors. Write that one down. That'd be a good one to have maybe as a quiz question. The doctrine of humors. Heidi, write that one down. That was taught up until, I believe, 1860. If you're sick, your blood's bad. Take out some blood. You should recover. The Bible says right there, Leviticus 17:11. Write that one down. Leviticus 17:11. The life of the flesh is in the blood. That was right beside George when they killed him. Right next to him on the table. Leviticus 17:11. How do you tell the age of the earth anyway? Next week we'll go into how do you determine the age of the earth? What does the Bible say about it? What scientific evidence do we have? And we're going to go through slowly the different ways to show the earth simply cannot be billions of years old. We'll start lesson 4 talking about that, the age of the earth. It just can't be billions of years old. Now, here's the problem. Some people need billions of years to make their theory look reasonable. If I told you, you kiss a frog, he turns to a prince, that does not look reasonable, does it? But if you let the frog sit for billions of years, it'll turn to a prince. Somehow, the brain can accept that. They are hiding behind a cloud of time. I ask evolutionists all the time, how can this happen? How can a fish change to an amphibian? Their answer is always, given enough time, that's how their answer always starts. Well, given enough time, stop right there. Time is your enemy. Time makes things fall apart. They decay, they disintegrate, they get worse. Show me anything that improves with time. If you did nothing to your house for 25 years, would it improve? No. I was over in Romania. I don't think they've done anything to the highways in 25 years. They don't improve, folks. Trust me. You drive like this down the straight streets because you're dodging all the potholes. Things don't improve with time. Things get worse. And we're going to talk about, because I think the key issue that Christians need to hit on is how old is the earth? We got some Christians going around teaching it's billions of years old. And folks, it just can't be. We'll cover that next week.